reaction report this week, we gear up for Anaheim, try not to get sucked up into the E3 hype, and say goodbye to a beloved Twitter account. What's up everyone, my name is Shani and I am here once again to bring you the weekly wrap-up of what is happening in the Call of Duty scene, community, and anything else revolving around the game that we love so dearly. It's that time of year where the E3 hype train is chugging along, and I am honestly not expecting too much new news to come out of E3 where Modern Warfare is involved. Now, Activision do have a bunch of live streams planned, and here's the schedule that you can have a look at with some of Infinity Ward's narrative, gameplay, and art teams, but I'm actually really not expecting anything relatively new or newsworthy to come out of E3, since we do know how big of a fan Activision and Call of Duty themselves are in hosting their own events rather than having stuff be announced at E3 and Gamescom and events of the like. I could be eating my words next week and a ton of stuff could be announced, but I'm honestly not anticipating too much, but I am stoked to see what they do end up having in the panel discussions and the different discussions through the duration of the week, but there is still a long time to come before the game releases on October 25th. Pro League finished up its 2-week split ahead of Anaheim this coming weekend with some not so shocking and surprising results to finish off the week, with E United and 100 Thieves securing their playoff spots, but as always we are more interested in the drama that came out of this week than anything else. Denial Esports will be closing their doors. I did see a bunch of pros tweeting out about how they weren't getting paid. Then the co-owner supposedly tweeted out #go yourselves, so you can imagine that things are really great in the Denial camp at the moment. I did however see that Rated did tweet out that they are looking for new representation and are working with CWL to get someone to find and take over that license spot, which will cover not only the Pro League but as well as the remaining tournaments, which include Anaheim, Miami, as well as Champs. It does break my heart when talented players like this do unfortunately find themselves in these predicaments, and I honestly really hope that they find themselves new representation and a home in a new organization very soon. Keeping along with the drama scene for just a second, although not in Division B, I did think it was necessary to chat about the Optic Gaming buyout situation. Now, if you follow Hex and you follow the Eavesdrop podcast that he releases, you would know that things have been up in the air for what feels like forever now with regards to Optic Gaming, with regards to the buyouts and Immortals and Infinite and everything else in between. And we did get an official announcement finally now that the buyout has gone through and that Immortals now do hold the cards for Optic Gaming. Now, they have said that they're going to be holding on to the Optic Gaming brand. There was, of course, a lot of chatter in and amongst all of this confusion and everything going on. There was talks about getting rid of the COD team, and of course, fortunately, that didn't end up going through just before the buyouts and everything. But then Nate Shot added a comment and saying, listen, if that happened, I would pick up Scump in a heartbeat. And I mean, I feel for now, as much as they say that they're going to keep the Optic Gaming brand, I do feel like us as the Green Wall do not know what our future holds. And we're just going to have to wait and see how things end up panning out, and hopefully it all works out for the best. Focusing on CWL Anaheim, however, the pools have been released. Now, I did follow some of the Twitter chats over the week, and a lot of people are saying how Pool D seems to be very tough. But in my personal opinion, I don't think LG or Envy are in very good situations at the moment, so it could potentially be between 100 Thieves and Gen G in that pool specifically. But as to which pool is the pool of death, I want to hear from you guys, what you guys think about this. I do have my personal opinion here, and I do think the pool C has a lot of potential for upset, given that there are some heavy hitting at the same kind of tier performances at the moment. So we're gonna have to wait and find out how that happens. But we never really know, never really able to give our full prediction into this, because you never know who's going to show up on Friday, and you never know who's going to be more prepared when it comes to the weekend. It could even come down to not having done homework and coming into vetoes. Like, unfortunately, as much as you do need to win your gunfights and the rounds and everything, you also do need to get to a place where you're winning in your vetoes as well, and you're playing your favorite maps, but you're also playing them on their least favorite maps, or at least they're not as strong maps. So I don't know, we're gonna have to wait and see. But if you have been following, I follow so many of the pros, and we've been seeing a lot of good vibes coming out from the pros leading up to Anaheim. A lot of people saying that they just want to get there, they just want to compete. A ton of bootcamp chatter going on as well. So if you aren't familiar and you haven't been paying attention, then Anaheim is this week. That is June 14th to 16th, and you can catch all of the action on twitch.tv/Call of Duty. In a sad turn of events, the COD GamePedia Twitter account has officially been shut down by Twitter. Nick from GamePedia did post updates on his own account as the heartbreak unfolded, and he even changed his bio to something along the lines of "I ran COD GamePedia before Twitter Thanos the account away." And I mean, it's truly heartbreaking. I know I was one of the many, I'm sure, who had tweet notifications on for that account, and I'm going to miss those updates about what's going on in Call of Duty, not just with an esports scene, but the game in general. I did speak about it in previous after action reports of how COD GamePedia were expanding their reach and their coverage to smaller scenes, not just the big pro scene. But the only thing that we can do for the meantime is carry on supporting the wiki page and carry on supporting the members of GamePedia or COD GamePedia, who continue to keep it going, and I'm so sorry that this had to happen to you. Locally here in South Africa, however, we do have COD participating in the VS Gaming Open Cup at the moment. Now, I'm going to try and cast as many of these games as possible over the next week, so COD, you know the drill. Let me know on Twitter, my DMs are always open, as we eagerly anticipate some form of announcement from either ACGL or Metal States about what's potentially happening. We are running out of time for majors this season here locally in South Africa, so if anything is going to happen for the remainder of the season, it's going to have to be announced relatively soon. The new game comes out in October. We know that the VS Championships is happening beginning of October, so there's not much time and wiggle room remaining. Gamma and Elite Gaming are joining forces for not only a pre-LAN online tournament, but also a LAN tournament that is going to be happening at the new Metro Gaming area in Empress Palace, and all of those details can be found on screen at the moment. Now, lastly, I'd like to leave COD today with a little bit of intel in saying that I hope that you all are following me on Twitter, because I do have something up my sleeve that I have been working on for the community that I really hope that I can announce soon, but I can't give you any more information at the moment, but the fact that something is coming. So, with that note, I'm going to leave this episode of After Action Report there. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new to the channel. Next week, obviously going to have a ton of Anaheim details for your face. But with that being said, I'm going to close this episode off here. I hope you're playing as close to zero ping as possible, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Cheers!